noise never fully disappears. It only moves farther into the dark.
Shaking the floor. Distant, static, distant, static, black, signal, black, signal. Disappearing through tunnels, empty reflections behind scratched glass. Every face feels emotionally erased, like the city forgot its own pulse. Static underneath sleepless eyes, electric tension beneath pale skin. Even silence sounds synthetic now, mechanical, restless, disconnected. Pulse accelerating, no escape from the transmission.
beyond the skyline. The skyline looks frozen tonight, like time stopped beyond the horizon. Flickering above deserted platforms, every reflection feels emotionally absent, like the city forgot its own identity. Electric tension beneath sleepless eyes, static pressure underneath pale skin. Even silence feels unfamiliar now, frozen, distant, disconnected. Fading, night expanding, no ending beyond the skyline. Smoke flooding across warehouse floors, bass pressure the cold horizon.
The transmission keeps moving through empty space. No origin, no ending. Drums crashing through underground chambers, smoke spiraling beneath red warning strobes. Bodies moving like shadow machinery, lost inside hypnotic repetition. Acid frequencies ripping through darkness like electrical burns across steel veins. Nobody speaks inside this warehouse, only movement, only shadows, only bassline shaking the floor. Transmission, void. Transmission, black signal, black signal. Reflections behind scratched windows. Every face feels emotionally erased, like the city disconnected from itself. Static underneath exhausted eyes, electric tension beneath pale skin. Even silence sounds artificial now, mechanical
transmission. Smoke flooding across warehouse floors, bass pressure shaking steel foundations, dark silhouettes beneath red lighting, moving through industrial fog, acid distortion tearing through the system like fear transformed into sound waves. But everything feels darker tonight. Cold lights, cold air, cold signals, void. Transmission, no. Frequency, void. Transmission, no. Return. The signal disappeared into the void. Beyond the skyline.